It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, let's do it. Let's jam a 3-hour show into a 2-hour wet paper bag, and it is wet today. But we'll keep you warm and dry, and we'll be talking to you for the next 2 hours. Got a jam-packed show. My man, the Iceman, is to my right. CB's behind the glass. I am AR. Good to see you, fellas.
What up, man? I'm feeling good today. You know, you mentioned the weather, and this is it for me. This is peak weather day for your boy. Like right after like a 70-degree day, partially cloudy, it doesn't get much better than this. Dark.
Only if you can stay home.
No, but listen, you get to go home after this, fire up the heated blanket, lock in on Commanders and Eagles tonight, and away we go. So, no, I'm feeling good, big dog. Feeling good today, man.
Yeah.
How you doing over there?
Good. We got some good stuff for you today, hopefully, as always. We'll do our NFL picks against the spread. We will do hockey and Hounds today. So we'll have Damon Severson on, fresh back from the 1-point West Coast trip. Not good, but we got the Penguins coming in tomorrow night, so they better get some home cooking and get it fast. It is a Gold Jacket Thursday, and Maddie, I promised you, and I will deliver.
Yeah.
The hot rod. In Rod we trust. Yeah. Rod is God, as they used to say on the banner hanging from Three Rivers Stadium. Rod Woodson on the program today. The former Steeler, Niner, Raider, Raven.
Yeah, man.
I think I got that in the wrong order, though. I think the Raiders were the last. He did get the Super Bowl with you guys, though. The beautiful thing about Rod, he's a Midwestern guy, and he went to Purdue. A lot of people don't remember that in the 80s, and was probably one of the greatest athletes that you've ever heard of at that time, because all he did was everything. Punt returner, kick returner, played offense, defense, and I looked this up because of his 71 career picks. I wanted to know, like, how many different players of the 71. So it was 42 different quarterbacks that he picked 71 times. His very first interception was against Boomer Esiason, and it was a pick six. But he has intercepted, and this is the cool part, 6 different Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So he's picked off Aikman, Elway, Jim Kelly, Joe Montana, Warren Moon, and Steve Young.
That's a flex.
And here's the really, this is the one that'll make you a big hit with your friends. He intercepted a 7th Hall of Famer who wasn't a quarterback.
Wide receiver, running back?
Running back.
Who was it?
Marcus Allen.
Okay.
How's that?
Just
how's that for a trivia question?
Just one of the best to ever do it. You all know I'm a Ravens fan, so I cannot wait to ask him about being a part of that 2000 Ravens defense. Arguably the best defense of all time. They gave up less than 11 points a game, had almost 50 takeaways in a season. Like, just to be a part of that greatness, got to pick his brain on that. But just zooming out from his time in Baltimore, just what he was as a Steeler, his head coach and Bill Cowher, just all of that stuff. He was an absolute dude, as all these guys are that we talk to on Thursdays. But for me personally, definitely a little extra juice there for me because of what I witnessed and the defense he was a part of those Baltimore Bullies.
So who was the defensive coordinator for that Super Bowl for the Ravens? Do you remember? Marvin Lewis was the DC for the Ravens, and he's the one that said, we got something brewing. You better come over. And he did. And Rod didn't love the way the Steelers let him go. That was an emotional deal for him. He never really got over that part of it because I think he wanted to be a Steeler for life, but you know how the business of football works. Yeah. Here's the other cool thing, and I'll ask him about this later. So in the midnight, and this is where the timing really has to line up. Rarely could you suffer a torn ACL and be able to come back that season. You have to be incredible in your rehab. You got to be blessed with the dedication and the rehab and all of that. And then the key part is you've got to be a part of such a good team that when you got injured, it didn't derail the whole thing, that they were able to get to the Super Bowl. Rod Woodson tore his ACL in 95 and came back to play in the Super Bowl that year against the Cowboys. They lost, but he played. And here's why I bring it to light today. Aiden Hutchinson, when he went down earlier this year, we all said he's probably done. Rod Woodson was the first guy to ever do that. Tear an ACL in the middle of the season and come back to playing a Super Bowl. You got to have that runway, and then you got to have the want to, and you got to have your team carry the deal to get there.
Pretty wild.
And I'll tell you what, I would, dare I say, if they make the Super Bowl, the Lions, and Aiden Hutchinson comes back, you will hear that story of Rod Woodson from 30 years ago.
I wonder if Rod went over to Wakanda and got fueled up with that vibranium. You know how they do that in the Black Panther. Just get that vibranium in your blood. You're not a Marvel guy, but I know there's some Marvel heads out there that get what I'm saying. You have to have some of that in your veins to come back in that time frame, because that is wild. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun talking to Rod, because there's so much there, as there is with all these guys that have just this tremendous resume. But we talk a lot of AFC North ball here on our show. You know, it's kind of our meat and potatoes when we talk NFL is the AFC North, and this dude was absolutely a large part of a lot of good stuff happening within this division years ago.
Why didn't he come to Ohio State? He's right over there, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Then Woody is the coach?
Earl.
Earl
would have been, Earl would have been coach in the 80s. We'll have to ask him about that. So Rod will jump on at 2:33 this afternoon. I did see something that I found curious also, which is when we look ahead to all these playoffs, and I've been saying filling out the bracket is what's made this real for people. They can look at it, kind of feel what the matchups could be like, even though all of these are just temporary weekly placeholders, depending on who wins and who loses, and then the seeding. But I did see, and this should probably illustrate to you the difference between Georgia and Boise, just in my mind. A look-ahead line did come out that if Ohio State were to lose in the Big Ten championship game and be the 5 seed, and Boise is the 12, I have the spread on that game.
Ooh, can I guess?
In Columbus, quarterfinal game, Ohio State against Boise. Right now, today.
Wouldn't be a noon game, right? Wouldn't be a noon game. I'm going to go Ohio State would be favored by 17.
Right on the number, 17?
And I'll put 17 and a half.
Yeah, a little higher.
Where's it at?
It's at 19 and a half.
Okay.
There is no way that if they were playing Georgia, they're favored by 19 and a half.
I agree with that.
Doesn't mean that Boise wouldn't be somewhat deserving.
You want the dogs in the bracket.
I've never been.
Because you're a dog guy.
Been this guy.
I just figured it out.
No, that's not
why he's riding for the Bulldogs this year to get in this thing.
No, I don't care if they play Ohio State or anybody. I just feel like, and I'm usually Cinderella boy. I usually like these.
What's going on this year?
I don't know. Maybe I've got bracket fever.
I'm rubbing off on you,
and
huh?
That's what this is. I feel like there's a certain aspect of the bracket.
Yeah, like a dry rub.
No, not that. What I would say is that this bracket is getting me in the mindset of, and I did this for Ohio State before the year. I said Ohio State would be the last team you'd want to see circling the wagons and coming back through the 5 through 12.
For you, that's Georgia this year. They don't have that bite to me. They just don't.
What I want to see is the dedication, because there may not be. This is my perfect scenario, and I mentioned to you when this first came out and they first expanded. What happens when the stars align and you get a big branded team with a lot of talent that feels, we got to come out through the 5 through 12 pool? I want to know where your emotional investment is at that point. Do you have opt-outs? Do you have people saying, or is the playoff enough to keep your team connected no matter what seed you are? That's the only thing I'm curious about.
No, I hear you, man. That's definitely an angle that'll take us down a dark tunnel. We've never been down that tunnel before. Carson Beck would play in the game. I think Carson Beck would absolutely play in the game based off of how his season is gone. He's got to keep grinding it out. And
he probably need to showcase himself against the Ohio State defense.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. That could absolutely help him if he performed well in that game. But this Georgia team doesn't feel like one of those teams that's going to be ripping off a whole bunch of draft picks this year. So I don't even know if they would have that many guys that would be
with
out
the
there.
option?
Yeah, honestly. I don't know. I mean, you got Malachi Starks on defense and Carson back as their quarterback. But outside of that, it really isn't a whole bunch of dudes like we've seen Kirby have over the last couple of years. So it's just it's a different feel for Georgia. But I understand where your mind is at, is when you see that G on that helmet and a 12 attached to their name, you're like, uh-oh, this is Georgia. But got to evaluate who they are this year, and it just doesn't feel like that championship caliber team that they've had in the past. And so they are in a do-or-die situation, in my opinion, on Saturday against Tennessee, but they may be getting a gift from the health gods, because there's real questions about Nico and whether or not he's going to be playing quarterback for the Vols this weekend.
Yeah. No, there's no such thing as a lock, and I was talking to a couple of my friends about that game, and I brought up Georgia wins that game, book it. I don't know if they cover, but you would probably book it. And then one of the responses I got was, or they could crumble under the pressure of knowing that they have to win the game. That those two things do exist.
That's fair.
Because my mind only went to, oh no, they're Georgia, must win, at home, got to stay alive. There aren't too many things that you could say are a lock. And then I got the response of, or they just aren't that team.
And I will say this, even if they do win against Tennessee this week, Georgia Tech's not going to be an easy game for them. We've seen Georgia Tech rise up this year and play in some games. I know the Florida State game doesn't look as sexy, but we just watched them beat a Miami team. And so that rivalry game to end the year on a Friday night is not going to be, hey, just because it's Tech and they may not be ranked at the time, who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. I'm not automatically giving them that win either, with Haynes King in the gang and the Yellow Jackets.
You want to crown them?
Crown them then. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they get Tennessee this week, they'll beat UMass the following week. But that Friday night regular season finale against the Yellow Jackets, that could get a little strange for them.
Yeah. The other part, and I wouldn't mind that Tennessee go in there and beat them, because then it does raise the narrative of, can they squeeze in as a 3-loss? And we did the show yesterday. It's very confusing to people to see Georgia sitting there at 12 in the rankings. It's a 12-team field. How is it possible they're on the outside looking in? Yeah. It's all because of the gifts they're giving to the group of 5, and certainly the big 4 of getting the gifts of winning their conference. So it's very confusing. And I'm here to tell you that looking ahead with these bracket combos, it's something for us to talk about, but it's not real. It doesn't really exist. I mean, I think what you can do is and what we've done every week with it, is we get to at least get a glimpse of what the committee is thinking that week. But every time I think now we know and they've tipped their hand, they just break everything up and scratch it and rebuild it the next week.
And we know nothing, like we're Jon Snow. Like your Gret used to say, you know nothing, Jon Snow.
Who's that one? Which one was that?
She was the redhead, remember?
Oh, yeah, the wildling.
He's a little romantic.
Oh, yeah. The wild.
Yeah, they got to pop it a few times. And they're together in real life.
Co-workers.
Well, co-workers that turned into real life lovers.
Absolutely.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Well, I don't know much, but I do know that the committee justifies with each brand and each team who gets the best tag and who gets the most deserving tag. That you can't have it both ways for every team. There's no way to do it. Certain teams are going to get the eye test and the branding heredity, and some are going to get the, hey, that team deserves an at-bat. And that's how we do it week to week. We will come back. We did hint about this with Shefty yesterday, about the primetime puppet master and how he may control everything when it comes to his son. We'll get to that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony. Happy Honda Days are at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich tells me they're going to help you celebrate your new vehicle with 0% APR up to 72 months on select 24 and 25 models with no payments for 90 days. And leases starting as low as $249 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin, where you'll get same-day service, no appointment necessary. See the dealer for all these amazing details. Strike now at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Snip, tuck, fold, crease, tuck, tape.
It's not that complicated, Dad.
Wrap, crease, tape, twist, tape.
Ohio Lottery scratch offs make great holiday gifts. And play Holiday Bonus Millions with a 200 times multiplier and a $2 million top prize.
Fold, crinkle, crinkle, fold.
Plus, you can enter non-winning tickets in My Lotto Rewards for a second chance to win up to 1,000 times the price of your ticket.
Please crinkle, gate, fold, ribbon, curl, scrunch.
The best part, Dad? No wrapping required.
No tuck, fold?
No tuck, fold.
Give the gift of fun. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
The OSU Army ROTC has scholarships available. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com to get started. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
We're back on Nada Yada Island Confessions. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada, only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or pay with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Script Ohio necklaces, Blocko earrings, Ohio State bangles, and more. You'll find an exclusive collection of luxury Buckeye jewelry you'll love at the Diamond Cellar, starting at $99. Show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
November is an ideal month to plant trees in Ohio because the soil is still warm, which reduces the transplant stress. Plus, trees require less water in November than in the heat of the summer, allowing roots to grow in the cooler temperatures. When planting trees, keep these tips in mind. Select trees that are zone hardy for where you plan to plant. Avoid planting trees that produce slip hazards like fruits and nuts close to sidewalks. And don't plant large trees near or under utility lines. To learn more about the November tree planting, contact an ISA certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The heaviest of the rain has moved out of central Ohio. Now we're going to be looking at a mostly cloudy afternoon with a few scattered showers from time to time. High 53. Cloudy and dry tomorrow, high 55. And then heading into your weekend, Saturday and Sunday look dry with highs in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
We've had this conversation many times. NFL prospects trying to dictate landing spots. And this goes way back to 2004, so 20 years ago, when the Chargers drafted Eli Manning, #1 overall. And he's never truly gone real on deep dive on why he didn't want to play for them. And then he finally kind of revealed a little bit that it was his decision, having talked with his agent and his coaches, GMs and owners, and that he was worried about the Chargers organization at the time. He finally admitted it, that he felt was the right decision. And he felt at that time he had a little pull. And Eli Manning, 20 years ago, finally admitted that he said to them very politely, please don't draft me. It can be our secret. I don't have to go public with this. And guess what happened? They didn't keep the secret very well.
They're probably offended.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, he was represented by Tom Condon, and Tom Condon also represented, and this is where the conflict comes. Marty Schottenheimer was the Chargers coach at the time. And so, and by the way, you know who the quarterback was at the time? Drew Brees. And they had LaDainian Tomlinson. And so his agent probably had a good feeling for how Manning would have fit in, because the Chargers were kind of getting this reputation, Maddie, of like young quarterbacks, don't go there, avoid this place. When I saw Drew Brees back then have those seasons in San Diego, and they were rough. And it was right after the Ryan Leaf catastrophe and all that. And so that's when Eli and his dad pulled some strings and all that, and Archie Manning talked him out of going to the Chargers. Now, Eli says that wasn't the case. It wasn't Daddy that stepped in and did it. It wasn't his dad. He was trying to take the heat off of him. That was really that he knew he was going to get criticized, and you guys can go back and go on YouTube and listen to the story. And then, by the way, they turned it around. They got our guy, Sean Merriman, who we have on the program.
Lights out, baby.
And then Drew Brees suddenly started playing great. And then Phillip Rivers started playing great. And they're going to AFC title games. So they turned it around. But it was Manning's agent that basically said, this is for the record, that the Chargers, that Eli would sit out. He'd sit out the entire 2004 season if the team drafted him with the first overall pick. And then they ignored the threat. They took Eli anyway. And now all of a sudden he gets traded to the Giants less than an hour after the pick. So obviously they'd work something out in a backroom deal. But it was probably, you guys go back, one of the cringiest, most awkward draft day photos
of all time.
Because now we know the story. Back then, looking at the picture, I'm like, oh, okay. Why wouldn't he want to play for the Chargers? But we know why. So now we come to present day. Let's fast forward 20 years. Deion Sanders, Colorado, his son Sheduer, is going to be a pretty high quarterback draft pick. I think we'd all agree with that. Lock first rounder, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think we're talking, Lock. Is he QB1?
Right. We're in that.
Yeah.
So he was on with Keyshawn Johnson. I'm talking about Deion Sanders. And Keyshawn asked him about this whole idea of kind of puppet mastering Sheduer's team.
You know, Prime, he's probably going to be one or two top quarterback off the board if they know anything, right? And that organization may be 1, 2, 3, 4. Will you step in Eli Manning like, Deion Sanders like, to the point where, like, you told him, hey, man, I ain't taking that psych test with the Giants. I followed you after that. I said I wasn't taking it either. Will you step in and do some of that if it's the wrong organization and say he ain't going there?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it publicly. I'll do it privately.
Yeah.
So you said you're going to be dad. You're going to be dad. You're going to be dad. I'm dad. The cows come home. Yes, sir. and with Travis as well.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that's your other son.
That's your other son.
But give us a little bit more insight on where you would like to. You don't even have to name teams. You can just give me region, style, whatever, that Sheduer needs or you want to see him go and play for. You don't have to give me teams. Just give me regions.
I'm not going to give you regions. I'll give you understanding.
Give me understanding.
Somebody that can handle the quarterback that he is. Somebody that can handle understanding that what he's capable of. Someone that has had success in the past handling quarterbacks, or someone in an organization understands what they're doing. Not just throwing you out there amongst the wolves, but you don't have the support in the infrastructure of the team. Forget the line. He's played with lines that hadn't been great, but he's been able to do his thing. But just the infrastructure of the team and the direction of where we're going. He could deal with anything.
He's on the record. When you say, I'll step in, but I won't do it publicly, you just told us you're going to do it. So now we don't know exactly who's on Deion's veto list.
Does he view CB Ken Dorsey as a good quarterback coach? That's going to be a fun thing to discuss, right? Because when you look at just the brand that is the Sanders family, that's going to be a huge win for whatever franchise gets Sheduer. I don't know, maybe Deion. We got plenty all season to talk about that. But whether it's the Giants or Tennessee or the Browns or the Raiders, who are two teams currently slotted in the top 5 of the NFL draft, we don't know how Deion feels about the guys on that staff, right? Because he just said it's not really the offensive line, even though I think that should be a major factor, but it's the developmental system that will be there for my son that I'm going to deem necessary to essentially, I guess, sign off on him going there. And so those are the teams that are in the mix, but that could easily turn into New Orleans. Well, I know Carr's on a big deal, and then the Jets and all those teams. So Sheduer's going to be, I think, the first quarterback off the board this year. Between he and Cam Ward, I think that's probably going to be where we're talking about or what we're talking about. But when you're Deion Sanders, you do have this type of pull. There's not a lot of daddies that can do that. You just got done talking about another rich family tradition in football with the Mannings. Like, I don't know if the Beck family can pull this off.
Eli never beat the Chargers, by the way. Not that it matters.
You know, like, I don't know if the Ward family can pull this off. When you come from the bloodline of an elite Hall of Fame player or a good player, it hits a little different.
Here's how you do it. And I think the next big part of the story would be, how he finishes this year is a big part of it. But this is very much like, how badly does Deion want to actually coach his kid and continue to coach him? Because if you pair them up together, it opens up a crazy narrative of teams forcing out their coach to get Deion because Deion has given them the okay to draft the kid. Or does Deion just need his kid to go where he wants him to go? But if Deion wants to be an NFL head coach, then all of a sudden you've got teams that are like, we'll move heaven and earth to get both of you.
It's going to be a fun offseason to see if that can happen. Did you know the Columbus Men's Clinic is celebrating 10 years of treating thousands and thousands of local men? The Columbus Men's Clinic is the largest and most experienced men's health practice in Columbus for a decade. The Columbus Men's Clinic have done this all day, every day. It's all they specialize in, and they've gotten a lot better over the years. Higher success rates, better administrative and medical staff, more treatments, and more happy patients and partners. Their ED, low T, and weight loss treatments truly change lives, and their experience makes the difference. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400. Or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
We come back with NFL picks against the spread. And a big one to start with tonight. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Okay, name? Occupation? Great. You get a brand new Kia. For less than lunch. Under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Is that a turkey?
Of course. We're talking turkey. With event pricing and the credit approve-a-thon.
Wow, and new Kias are less than lunch?
Yes, under $5 a day. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV6 Wind, and Sorrento LX. All three under $5 a day.
Wow, that's only $139 a month for 24 months.
Plus new 24 Kia Telluride LX under $8 a day.
$249 for 24 months.
He just got an EV6 with 0% financing.
Lucky goose.
Turkey.
Turkey, right. But I'd never get approved.
If you've got a job, you ride.
You guys are great.
Great cars, great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
GreatLakesKia.com.
You're such a ham.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Hey, it's Anthony here, and over the years, I've tried to stay in the fight, keep playing, but every now and then, something gets me. Shoulder pain, a knee tweak, a recent bout of golfer's elbow. When the weekend warrior injuries happen, the first call I make is to the specialists at Orthopedic One. I don't mess around. I want the #1 ranked place for orthopedics in Ohio. They've earned the right to be called Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts. Get started at orthopedic1.com. No referral needed, but if you want one, I got you.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, Biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Come try Skyline Chili's new Mac and Cheese 3-Way. Made with creamy cavatappi pasta in a 3-cheese blend. Topped with Skyline Chili and their shredded Wisconsin cheddar. The new Mac and Cheese 3-Way. At participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's football season, and Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for all the action on the gridiron. With a game-changing rewards program, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats ensures that every fan can catch their favorite teams and players in action. Vivid Seats has you covered with deals that cater to every football enthusiast. And all tickets come back by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice, NFL picks.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
All right, Stevie, what you got?
Yeah, pretty solid week for both of you last week, despite, I would say, some difficult results based off of the lines. But AR, you went 9-5. Ice, you went 8-6. So the overalls, 6 above 500 for AR at 77 and 71. Ice, you're at 69-79. Not nice.
Plenty of time.
Listen, your little jumping off the top rope right there at the end, I did not need. Okay? You just went from saying I did pretty good to not nice.
You gained two games. That's good.
You know what? I hope Santa drops a whole bunch of coal off at your house this year.
I'm expecting it.
Yeah, you deserve it. Go ahead. What we got?
Well, let's make up some ground with the Thursday night game. Actually, a really, really good game. It's the Eagles hosting the Commanders. Eagles minus 3.5.
Maddie and I discussed this during the break. This is impossible. I would love to actually bet the Eagles down to 2.5 and just bet them to win the game in that way. This is across a key number. It's a divisional matchup. We all know that. Just can't kind of get out of my own way on the Eagles. That what have they won 5 in a row now? And their defense is their defense has held teams to under 50 yards passing in a big span. 2 teams. Jaden Daniels, the Steelers got after him. They blitzed him. They took away his running lanes. Can Philly do that? Sure, they can. I just think Philly's going to win the game, and I'm just going to go ahead and bet him to cover the 3.5. It doesn't feel comfy, but I'm going to do it.
Since a little riblet injury to Jaden Daniels, he hasn't seemed as explosive to me with what he's been able to do with his offensive game. The other quarterback in this game tonight, and Jalen Hurts, we're back to the touchdown merchant here. 8 rushing touchdowns over his last 4 games. I'm laying the 3.5. Give me Philly.
All right, on to Sunday, the 1 o'clock window. The Packers are a 5.5-point road favorite over the Bears.
See, here's what makes me nervous. There was a team last week that got rid of their coach, and I can't remember who it was, and they came back and won the game.
I believe you're talking about the Saints?
The Saints, yes.
The guy that clogged the turlet.
Yes. Do the Bears have that same type of magic going on? That's what spooks me in this one. They just given up so many sacks this year. The second most sacks allowed is coming from the Chicago Bears. I'm going to lay the 5.5 and roll with Green Bay, but there's something funky about this one.
Again, a divisional game on the road, and you get that new OC bump, whatever that bump's going to be, because Cam's going to try to prove that it wasn't me, it was Shane. Don't go, Shane.
Shaggy?
Don't go, Shane.
I thought you were going Shaggy on me. It wasn't me.
Shane Waldron. I got to take the Packers here. I do. It's just, I can't trust that a new OC is going to bump this thing back to greatness. I'm giving a little room for the divisional game on the road.
Yeah.
That can be real, but I'll lay the 5.5.
All right, the Lions are a 14-point favorite at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No Trevor Lawrence, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so Mac Jones back.
I think Brian Thomas Jr. is also questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Lions need something here to come out and show the world. Even though they won on a 5-interception game by Goff, I think they want to show the world they are who we think they are. They're 7-2 against the number this year, so I'm not afraid of that big number at 14. I'm going to lay it.
Back at home in the Dome, they can bring the game home with the run game late. They're going to dominate this one. Mac Jones is just, he ain't ready for this one, so I'm going to lay the 14.
The Vikings are a 6-point road favorite at the Titans.
What happened to Sammy D last week? That scared me. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions from Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson. They couldn't find him. Tennessee's got a salty defense. I like their defense, but it's Will Levis on the other side. Sam Darnold's getting off the map. Am I going 4 straight favorites?
I might be with you.
My goodness, I don't like that. But I'm going to do it. Give me the 6 because of the Mayo, man. Can't trust him.
Yeah, I don't know where this line went after the Vikes just barely squeaked by Jayville. I do know they like the blitz. I do know that Will Levis probably doesn't like blitzes, and they haven't scored more than 20 in a game this season. Let's say the Vikes get right and win by a touchdown.
The Dolphins are a 7.5-point home favorite over the Raiders.
7.5. Raiders coming off a bye.
Are we going 5 straight favorites? You know that's not going to happen.
What had happened was...
See, what had happened was...
Dolphins defense showed me something against the Rams. The Rams, again, the penalties and everything else. The Raiders are sticking with
Gardner's
Gardner.
back, baby. I'm taking the 7.5. Yeah. I can't do another favorite. I can't do it. We just know the NFL doesn't work that way.
I don't like the coming off a bye situation to bet against the Raiders, but I'm going to do it. Another favorite. Another one.
You might like another one here with the Rams. They're a 4.5-point road favorite over the Patriots.
I don't know what the weather's going to be like in New England. I have no clue.
Cross-country flight, weird body clock game for the LA gang.
Stafford looked awful.
He did.
Their offense was just a mess.
If you don't like this one, you might take the next dog.
The Patriots have so many issues on the line the last month. The Rams can get after the quarterback.
They really can.
It just doesn't make sense. I'm doing it again. Rams minus 4.5.
Oh, goodness. But you're right. I'm glad you highlighted because Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, 2 guys
Carlton Fisk?
Yeah, man. 2 guys from Florida State's squad last year looked good up front. I'm doing it, too. I'm laying the 4.5. They've got the better offensive weaponry in this game. I don't think New England can keep up.
And here is the next underdog I think you will like. It is the Saints, a 1-point home favorite over the Browns.
Yeah, give me the Browns. Coming off a bye week, no Olave for the Saints. I don't think MVS will pop off the way he did last week against this Browns secondary, especially with Myles Garrett heating up Derek Carr. I'm taking the point and rolling with the Dogs.
Yeah, let's go orange and fudge here and say that the Browns get after Derek Carr a little bit, and then Jameis goes into the dome and slings it around.
The Jets are a 4-point home favorite over the Colts.
Man, Colts are a mess, too. Jets are a mess. They're at home, though. Usually I would like to take the free points here in a just a clown kind of game, but I just, back at MetLife, I just feel like why not take Aaron and lay the 4?
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm on a roll here. Why not? Forget it, he's rolling.
Anthony Richardson, just can't trust it. You can't, right? And having to deal with a pretty good Jets defense on the road. Another favorite. I'm laying them.
It's going to be their
We're going to get
nightmare.
buried. We're getting buried this week. I can feel it. I can just feel it.
All right, possibly the best game of the 1 o'clock window. You got the Ravens, a 3-point road favorite at the Steelers.
No Kyle Hamilton in this game is a massive issue for a secondary that with Kyle Hamilton was absolute garbage. Pickens, Williams, too explosive. Pittsburgh at home. Lamar's been bad against the Steelers. I'm taking the 3. This line didn't make any sense to me.
This is where I let the Iceman lead me to freedom. Well, sometimes Vegas does give you a hint on something sounds too good to be true. And you're right. The Steelers at home getting 3 against a horrible Ravens defense. I made the mistake of thinking they've gotten better.
So bad.
I am going to take the home dog here with Pittsburgh.
All right, on to the 4 o'clock window. It looks like only 3 games in this window. Denver, they are a 2.5-point home favorite over the Falcons.
Because the NFL wants your eyeballs on one game, CB. I don't think that's a mistake. Kansas City, Buffalo. What you got, AR?
Oh, I'm up. Atlanta and Denver. Denver laying 2.5. What's going on with your Falcons, Matty? Ugly loss to the Saints. I think they match up well here, though, in this game. Is Denver really going to have all the answers they need for your boy Bijan? I think Cousins should be able to throw. Again, I'd love to know the weather report on this, but I have to play Atlanta here. I just think they're a better team. I hate them outdoors and mile high. I'll tell you what, scratch that. Denver
Another
minus
favorite?
2.5.
I am rolling with my guy Kirk O'Chains. Give me the 2.5 on the road. Dirty Birds going into the Rocky Mountains, doing a little sled and coming back home with a dub.
Liked what Denver did against KC.
That's fair.
Yeah. They're angry.
The 49ers are a 6.5-point home favorite over Seattle.
Nice little game, too, here. I mean, Seattle, they've lost a couple in a row. CMC's back. I could see them winning by a touchdown with all the weaponry in the mix there for them. Purdy's been playing well. I don't know if that's been talked about enough. Check out Brock Purdy stuff. I'm laying the 6.5.
Tough to trust Seattle in any way. I feel like Niners get a very emotional win last week. It's kind of vaulted them into thinking that they can be real. Christian gets some rust knocked off there. I just don't trust Seattle, so I'm going to lay the 6.5.
And that game of the week that Matty Ice mentioned, it is the Bills, a 2-point home favorite over Kansas City.
Chiefs are either the most amazing 9-0 team ever, or they're maybe the worst 9-0 team. I don't know. But I said this earlier in the week, I'm taking Buffalo. I think they're going to put everything. They don't lose at home. They're 4-0. I'm worried about their lack of weapons here, but they've got enough there, and I think they're going to come out on top. Laying the 2 is dicey, but I'm going to do it.
It's hard for me to see them overcoming potentially no Cooper, no Coleman, no Kincaid against this defense.
Allen MVP game.
Yeah, maybe, but Mahomes may just be like, I'm that dude. So I'm going to take the 2 and roll with the reigning champs.
Sunday Night Football, the Chargers are a 1.5-point home favorite over the Bengals.
This is it for the Bengals. We've been saying that for about a month, it feels like, but this is it. If they don't win this game, I think we can...
Make no mistake where you are, this is it?
Yeah, put a nail in their coffin. I'm going with the Bengals. They'll show up. I think they're going to play well inside the dome.
Worried about their defense.
It's fair.
Chargers have not given up more than 20 points this season. Now they face Joey B. I am going to take the 1.5 with Cincy.
Monday Night Football, the Texans are a 7.5-point road favorite against the Cowboys.
Gets Collins back this week, right?
Mm-hmm. So do I.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you do. Come on. We're not...
Texans.
Yeah, there's no way we're
minus 7.5.
Can't roll with Trey Lance right now.
I've got 2 dogs. 2. Woo. You know who they are? Cincinnati and...
There we go.
That's it. Just ride with the big OH there. That's amazing. All right, happy Honda days are here at your main Honda of Dublin. My friend Rich and Jerry and all the great staff over there, they're going to help you celebrate. This is a great time to make a deal. 0% APR up to 72 months. That's incredible financial savings on select 24 and 25 models. And guess what? They're also going to say you don't owe us a payment for 90 days. So this is the time. Telling the truth. Leases are going to start as low as $249 a month. You know the Honda brand. You know the dealership and the backing of the dealership. Amazing deals over there. Germain Honda of Dublin. Same-day service, no appointment necessary once you get that brand-new ride. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. Tell them I sent you over there and ask for the amazing deals at your main Honda of Dublin. We come back with a Buckeye Bulletin and the key on that O-line. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
The Super Sale is back Friday and Saturday only at Meijer. Shop super low prices on favorites like Macintosh, Fuji, or Gala apples. $1.99 for a 3-pound bag. Hillshire Farms smoked sausage ropes for $2.99. And buy one, get one free Quaker Oats. Shop super low Meijer prices while supplies last and get the same prices in-store and online. Shop the Meijer Super Sale this Friday and Saturday only. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid November 1st through November 30th. See store for details.
James Laurinaitis for Custom Air. Custom Air is devoted to quality, customer service, and trust. They are always there when you need them, and they deliver on what they promise. That's how they do things. It's the Custom Air way. Custom Air, custom solutions, custom comfort. CustomAirColumbus.com.
At Humana, our Medicare Advantage plans give you coverage and care you can count on, along with guided support to help you feel your best. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options and choose a Medicare Advantage plan. You'll feel confident because you have plan options that fit your needs. You could have a plan with a $0 premium and even personalized care from a wide network of doctors, or all-in-one plans that may include medical and prescription coverage, as well as routine dental, vision, and hearing. When it comes to the benefits and support you need, Humana has Medicare Advantage plans made for your well-being and your wallet. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
The Buckeye Show.
Position coach and head coach and coordinators would be of the mindset of resting starters because the playoffs are what matter most.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Get out there and have some fun in a new Toyota. With more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, anything's possible. Like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through December 2nd, get any new Highlander or Grand Highlander with 5.99 APR financing up to 72 months, including hybrid models, with $1,657 per thousand borrowed. Subject to approved credit through TFS. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
GNC is hitting the holidays hard this year with huge buy one, get one 50% off savings on all of your favorites. Yes, all, as in all your favorites from Ghost, Alani Nu, Prime, Optimum Nutrition, Beyond Raw, Nugenix, and more. Everything you need for the runners, lifters, yogis, and I gotta get in shapers on your list. Buy one, get one 50% off, and it's all happening now through December 3rd. Shop GNC and live well through the holidays.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another furnace breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day furnace installation.
Buckeye Bulletin time. Maddie, how would Ryan Day have responded if I said, Coach, I was just looking at some look-ahead lines, and it says here you're a 19.5-point favorite against Boise.
He'd walk off the set.
Give me a little take on that, on the what-if on Boise here at the Shoe on December 20th.
He'd walk off the set.
It'd be a throat rip.
No, he'd probably hit you with
Northwestern to worry about.
He'd hit you with the responsible answer. Anthony, we're just focused on what's ahead, respecting the Wildcats, seeing some things on tape. We don't take care of our business. The game could get interesting. You know how the game works. He wouldn't show you up.
Keep going, Matty.
But he'd think in his mind, what is he talking about? That's what he'd be thinking in his mind. Worried about the Wildcats.
And then he'll be worried about the Hoosiers. And then he'll be worried about that team up north.
What
and
if
that's
I
the way it's
told
supposed
you,
to go.
Prior to the season kicking off, that AR, when we get to Indiana week, that's going to be a top 5 matchup. You would have looked at me like I was nuts.
And we're all for you. I would say there's not enough money that you could have put on that I would have taken. Never daunted. We cannot falter. Josh Fryer is an Indiana native, correct? It's positive on that.
Yeah, I believe so.
And I do believe that his dad played for IU under Bill Mallory, who was a great coach there. And obviously here, Mallory was an assistant here. And so on the Hoosier teams, the last time Indiana beat Ohio State was back in the late 80s, in 87 and 88. And Josh's dad was, I think, a player on that team. I think I'll have to go back. It's a really it's going to be a cool story for him when it comes to lining up that game. But I wanted to get a soundbite here on Ryan Day because he has talked about Fryer and just how solid he's been.
I just like his approach. I think he's got a grittiness to him right now, a toughness. He's just kind of angry when he's out there, and that's good for an offensive lineman. He's playing well, playing tough. I think he understands what teams are trying to do, and he's played now a decent amount. He's got some games under his belt, so he's become a huge part of our offense, a huge part of the offensive line. He's showing leadership, and he's somebody that we need to play really well down the stretch.
I do like the part where he mentions he plays with some anger, because I like when an offensive lineman they test the limits of the whistle and let the other team know that you ain't getting nothing easy with us, and we're going to play to the end of the whistle and try to get our Orlando pace on and pancake you all over the place. Like I like when the offensive line looks a little grimy, like they maybe didn't shower the night before, or they're ready to go in the locker room at halftime and clean a rack of ribs. Like that's how I want the offensive line to look and play that way. And so the fact that he sees some of that with his guys is big. And Coach Day talked about it on the coach's show today, when he was highlighting the confidence that's growing there, and essentially they know how important they're going to be down the stretch, and these guys have had to adjust on the fly with the unfortunate injury to Josh Simmons. And so it's great to hear that unit has confidence in themselves, because that's going to be what I think can catapult this Ohio State team into a potential national championship, because we know the weaponry is there. I mean, they have arguably the best weaponry in the whole country with the running backs and receivers that they have. And so if the big dogs up front can hold up and carve out lanes, this Ohio State offense and team has a chance to do something special for sure.
Sonny Styles also commenting on last week's game. It was a shutout. There wasn't a whole lot to nitpick, but he wasn't completely satisfied.
Me and Cody were already a little pissed off just walking off the field. Like, we shut them out, but we were like, we gave them some plays should have had. They shouldn't have got down to the red zone at all. So, like, we always realize that the issues are always there. So we're like, it's not easy to win, so we're happy about winning. But we're focused on the issues. You're not focused on, I had a good play on this. I'm focused on that bad play I had. I'm trying to fix that. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And those kind of games you can nitpick. You can look at the numbers and say, you know what, we held them to under 100 rushing. I wish it was under 75 or 50. They were 2 for 12 on third downs. I wish it was, 0 for. Yeah, you can get a little greedy when it comes to those kinds of games when you're playing that well, but keep that mindset moving forward.
A lot of the great players, great coaches have that mentality, have that vibe and that energy that Sonny Styles was just giving off, where you acknowledge on one hand, we handle business, but those 1 or 2 plays throughout a game, or maybe I was a step late here and they got that extra 2 yards, that could be the difference between losing to, one of the elite teams that you're going to play down the road. So it's great to hear that he not only has that focus, Cody has that focus, and I'm sure a bunch of guys over there have that same locked-in mentality of knowing that, yes, we're doing some good things, but we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect, and that should always be some added fuel to your tank to want to be the best to do it.
All right, they're still a 28.5 point favorite at Northwestern Wrigley Field, to be exact, on Saturday at noon. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. All right, we take a break. We come back with the Sports Center update, top of the hour. Jackets will be back at home tomorrow night. We'll visit with our friend Damon Severson, CBJ D-Man, coming up next on Hockey and Hounds, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, what's all this I hear about season's free things?
Yeah, we're giving away even more than usual this season.
Free alignment with any Ford tire purchase isn't seasonal, Mike. It's free every day at Tire Discounters.
Sure, but right now, guess what else happens every day?
I know that customers can save up to $250 on Michelin tires.
Absolutely. Now, guess what else?
Mike, I'm a Phantom tire buyer with a secret identity. Please don't toy with me.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yes?
We're doing these drawings.
Like a game show.
And one lucky customer per day wins all their money back for 4 tires.
Spectacular! But why call it Season's Free Things?
You know, Season's Greetings. It's like a play on words.
Yes, of course it is. I knew that.
It's Season's Free Things at Tire Discounters. One lucky customer per day wins their money back on tires. Everyone saves big on major brands like Continental. And a free alignment and oil change comes with every Ford tire purchase.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as, bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing. What do you mean we're still short-staffed? He needs a good patient doctor. How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients? And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Andrews. College football last night. Ohio over Eastern Michigan 35-10. Miami took care of Kent State 34-7. NIU over Akron 29-16. Tonight, East Carolina is at Tulsa. NFL tonight, Washington at Philly, We'll have coverage at 8 right here on The Fan. Jackets host the Penguins tomorrow at Nationwide. Columbus looks to snap a 6-game skid, and they were winless on their last road trip. And Ohio State hoops at Texas A&M tomorrow night. Our coverage from Reed Arena starts tomorrow at 8 here on The Fan. This update is sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus, your connection for the best selection of Ford Blue Advantage certified used vehicles. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour of the program. We'll get Sevo on here hopefully in a couple minutes. Talk a little hockey and Hounds with him. We'll have a Gold Jacket Thursday coming up at 2:33 with Rod Woodson, the great and legendary former Steeler and Raven and Niner and Raider. That will be awesome. And also Big Tenor coming out of Purdue University.
Yeah, man.
I tried to time it for you last week when Ohio State was playing Purdue. Sorry, I failed you on that one.
It wasn't a bad interview last week either.
No, Andre Reed, that was awesome.
Not a bad one.
That was good.
If you guys ever miss any of these interviews or anything we do, wherever you get your podcast, you can find everything. Just type in Rothman and Ice. We'll pop up. You subscribe. You maybe give us a 5-star if you're feeling good, and then you don't have to worry about it ever again.
Are we delivering them food? Is that why they have to give us a 5-star?
I was willing to mulch people's yards in the summer. I'm willing to do it. If you need me,
He's willing to learn. That's right.
I'll be there.
That would be a fun thing to watch you do. I would just stand there and point and say, we need a little more over here.
Yeah.
Maddie, can you fill this in over here a little bit?
Cheez-Its on the deck and watch me put in the work. Have you chipped away at Christmas shopping at all?
No, nothing. No.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm actually proud of myself this year.
It's rough. I will tell you, I saw a piece of video the other day. I'm sure that you saw it circulating the internet. And that was Caitlin Clark at a professional women's golf tournament playing in a Pro-Am. It looked like she was on a par 3. And I have to go back and look because I was really only looking at where the ball went. And I will tell you, I've sent that video to a lot of my friends, and they all kind of sent back like the laughing emoji. And I kept responding with just how scary it was. She completely shanked a ball off the heel, and it went over the crowd. But they were standing 5 yards from her. Can you imagine? And this wasn't some little chip. This was a full-blown shot that she just, I don't know, shanked, I guess the best word.
Looked like me out there.
Just heeled it over the crowd. Like, how scary is that?
It's something I think about anytime I'm watching a golf tournament. We can expand on this later, but it's one of my biggest fears.
Yeah. Don't get involved in any of that. All right, little Hockey and Hounds time.
You'd think that dog conversation wouldn't necessarily blend with hockey talk, and you'd be wrong.
You idiots!
Like a fine wine and dark chocolate, it's going down smooth. Rothman and Ice present Hockey and Hounds.
Sponsored by Telhio Credit Union. If you know Telhio Choice Checking, you know all the perks that come with your account. Find the checking account that fits your needs at telhio.org.
Now, joining the Hockey and Hounds League is Jackets blue liner Damon Severson, a man who skates hard so his dog Reggie can have a better life.
He is our guy, Sevo, and he's with us now, courtesy of Telhio Credit Union. Damon, good to have you back. Welcome back home.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be back in Ohio.
Yeah, so you come back from the West Coast trip, tough string of losses there, only 1 point to show for it. So, and a couple things. I want to ask you specifically what's the most frustrating part of this for you and the boys right now, because I think that while I could sit here and say you deserved better, you didn't get better. So what's been specifically the focus since on that trip and then coming back home to try to right things?
Well, with the team we got, we just got to kind of do the cliche things like doing the right things properly to be able to win games. And we definitely feel like we should have won a couple of those games in California for sure. The San Jose game definitely was a game we dominated, and we felt we should have got better results from that. And then Anaheim, we felt like we probably should have got better results there too. But And then obviously Seattle, we started with a 2-0 lead in the first and just kind of stopped doing the things that made us successful in that period in the second and third. So it's a little bit frustrating. I think part of it too is we've had some really good chances and really good looks to score, and we just haven't been able to put the puck in it on those looks when we've done that in the past this year. So a little bit frustrating that way, but at the same time, it's just frustrating to lose. No one wants to lose. It's not been fun that way, so hopefully we can right the ship here tomorrow night.
Steve, I'm always curious how players and teams handle situations like this when it comes to trying to get off the mat. For you and for the team right now, is this heavier film study? Is this more time on the ice? How have you guys approached this and trying to correct a little bit of a wrong here over the last few games?
Yeah, a little bit of a combination, just kind of this morning we had a bit of a tough meeting, and you just expect a lot of yourself as a hockey player and as a person. So it was one of those days where you come into the rink, you just went on a road trip where you got 1 point out of 4 games. So it wasn't a successful one for us, but we got a chance here now that we're back home to kind of like, I guess we're only home for a game, but to right the ship. And we had a hard practice today, and we're going right into it back to back, and then a couple more games in the road before being home for the last couple weeks of the month. So it's not an easy stretch for us, but we don't have a choice right now. So we got to make sure we're dialed in, and we put a good game on the ice for ourselves and get it back in the win column and for our fans as well.
Can you share any details? You mentioned a tough meeting. I'm curious what that necessarily means. Is that coming from the coaching staff or their players stepping up and speaking? Without giving us everything, what does the tough meeting look like exactly?
Oh, it's just expecting, the coaching staff going through video and the video doesn't lie, right? They always say that, during the game you might not see everything because things happen live, things happen quick, but then you're able to go back and kind of rewatch some of the replays of what happened, throughout the game. And you're able to get a chance to, you're on a bit of a skid right now to, look at guys and say, hey, this is where we need you to be better. This is where we need to, kind of fix some of our errors that have been made. And, I think it was good this morning, too. Calling out sometimes some of the veteran guys is a little bit easier to do because they've been around and they've been able to handle it rather than some of the young guys who might start gripping their sticks too tight. So as veteran guys, there's a numerous amount of us in there that have to take a lot of pride in trying to right the ship and being a big part of making sure that things are starting to go in the right direction because we had it early, but now it's kind of slipped a little bit here these last little bit.
No doubt. Damon Severson with us, CBJ defenseman, Hockey and Hounds, brought to you by Tel Higher Credit Union. All right, so you go on this West Coast trip, and like I said, you only come back with 1 point. And like you said, maybe you deserved a better fate, but you didn't get it. But what did you gain on the trip? I mean, it was a long trip. You had some days off. The guys hang together at all. You kind of do your own thing. Give me some of the highlights. Let's at least slant a little bit towards that trip and maybe what you did get out of it.
Yeah, we had a couple of days off there in California in between the San Jose game and then the back-to-back with LA and Anaheim. So we were able to get together, have a couple of dinners as a group, and have some fun, share some laughs, and it was good fun that way. But it makes it obviously much better when you're winning. So it was a bit of a it was fun, but at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're still trying to go to the rink every day and do your job to the best of your ability. So we had a good time on our off days, but. Definitely would have been much nicer on the plane ride home from Seattle yesterday if we had kind of finished that last one off with a win. But we made the most of the trip and we had our off days. Guys, did some shopping, did some, spent some time by the pool, and we were lucky with the weather in California. But everything is much better when the team is winning, and unfortunately right now we are struggling a little bit. So once we get that back on track, it'll make everybody's, mindset and just general day-to-day lives a lot happier.
All right, I want to lock in on these dinners. Siva, what was the best thing you ate on the road trip, and where did it come from?
Great question. We had a couple dinners. I guess a couple dinners were in was it Manhattan Beach? I guess down in kind of in between LA there. A lot of the Kings guys I think live down there, so I don't know if a recommendation was made to somebody, but there's a couple spots down there. Had a couple nice meals down there. A couple of good cuts of steak were nice, and then some of the good sides. But more or less, it's just the company, being around the guys, and you kind of forget what you're eating sometimes. You get telling stories, and you just kind of talk about little things here and there. But one thing leads to another, and it is good fun, and it is good camaraderie to be around them and spend some time. I know we spend a lot of time with each other at the rink, but it's fun as well to get away from it and just kind of live our normal lives and talk about normal things.
We are with Damon Severson talking hockey and Hounds. You get Pittsburgh coming here on Friday. That atmosphere in itself, you've experienced that. You know, we tend to get some Penguin fans that like to drift over here, or maybe they're already in the city. That arena has to get kind of interesting and different than other games, would you say? I think the last time they came in here, I think you beat him, I want to say maybe it was an overtime or a shootout game, but can you describe, is there a difference when Pittsburgh comes in?
Yeah, anytime. I would say, I guess they're probably our closest in proximity. So they're I would say, from what I've understood, kind of in the past year and a bit being here, they're probably our biggest rivals. So it definitely is a better atmosphere nationwide, and makes it more fun too. So you know, both teams I think have been struggling. So we're both desperate for wins and really want to get things back on the right track. So when Nationwide's rocking, it makes it a lot more fun to play there for sure. And like I say, it's always great when we're firing that cannon.
No doubt. All right. So I think last time you came on, a couple things. I pitched a dog because I remember the name. It was Sova. And Sova was from gigi's.org, my friends down in Canal. And Sova was that sweet, goofy boy, that 3-year-old boxer mix. And he got adopted, which is great. So Sova's got a forever family. So this week, I want you to say hello to Autumn. Autumn is a sweetie, just a 6-year-old Pomeranian, about 10 pounds. You all know, just loves to be in the owner's lap, snuggling around and getting some pets. So, and I will tell you, Autumn, because I talked to the people at ProDogsOhio.org. ProDogs is one of my favorite foster-based rescues as well. And Autumn can be an only dog, or can have some furry siblings. She just has to get used to them at first, like they all would. But she's been around kids. She's been around cats, other dogs, even chickens. And Autumn is crate and potty trained as well. And I think she just, like I say, Poms usually prefer to be in their owner's lap. But if you think Autumn would be a good fit for your family, I'm pitching her today at ProDogsOhio.org is the site. PRODogsohio.org. And hopefully, Sevo, we can get another one adopted on your watch.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I know, I guess, like you said, if we're 2 for 2 right now, let's try to make it 3 for 3. So hopefully all the best to Autumn. That sounds like an amazing dog, little Pomeranian. It's kind of similar to Reggie, who I got. He's like a little lap dog. He loves just kind of cuddling on the couch. So love spending time. I actually just got home from practice today, so that's probably what I'm going to do for the next few hours, is hang out with him on the couch. So
nice.
If someone's looking to do that in their off time, that's there's no better feeling than just to have your dog cuddled up to you on the couch. It's great.
Especially on a day like today. Listen, last time you came on, I think the next game you scored. I think it was against the Sabres. And so we were all pretty excited about that around here. So hopefully that good luck will trend again for Friday night. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Hope to continue that streak as well. Then appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys again soon.
Thanks, Damon. Damon Severson, Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman here on Hockey and Hounds. Brought to you by my friends at Telehire Credit Union. Don't settle for good. Find your perfect fit at Telehire Credit Union. A choice checking account from Telehire is everything you ever wanted. You can visit telehire.org and find out a lot more. The perfect fit is what we're going for here on Hockey and Hounds, for these great adoptables and great rescues to find their family and live great lives. And we thank Telehire for being a part of it from the very beginning. We come back with pre-snap reads. Aaron Rodgers, his future. Is this it? We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get
5. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
Meijer holiday deals are here. Plus, when you spend $100 or more in-store this week, you'll receive a $10 coupon at checkout. Redeemable the week of November 17th. Find the perfect gift for even the hardest to buy for on your list. like assorted Squishmallow plush, only $14.99 each. Select Lego playsets are buy one, get one 40% off. And select games for the entire family are just $10 each or less. Shop Meijer today for even more great holiday deals and savings. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Anthony. Happy Honda Days are at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich tells me they're going to help you celebrate your new vehicle with 0% APR up to 72 months on select 24 and 25 models with no payments for 90 days. And leases starting as low as $249 a month. Germain Honda of Dublin, where you'll get same-day service, no appointment necessary. See the dealer for all these amazing details. Strike now at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road just south of 270.
To Central Ohioans, fall means one thing, football. At Sears Heating and Cooling, fall also means one thing, furnaces. We're not plumbers or electricians. Nope. For 74 years, we've been your Central Ohio heating and cooling experts. Need an electrician or plumber? We'll gladly give you a referral, but we won't pretend to be your one-stop shop for all the trades. We're HVAC experts, and our mission is to provide the highest quality service at the best possible price. That's the local advantage of doing business with your neighbors at Sears Heating and Cooling. Online at SearsHeatingCooling.com.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community, except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station, except Bo. The Fan.
Hey, football fans, are you ready to score big this NFL season? Anthony Rothman here to tell you that Bud Light and 97.1 The Fan have teamed up for the ultimate football face-off. Join us each week for football face-off events and your chance to win a trip to Vegas, where you'll compete for the grand prize, a trip for two to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Drink Bud Light, enjoy the games, and take your shot at football glory. This week, join me on Friday night at Brothers Bar and Grill in the Arena District. I'll be there 5 to 7 p.m., getting ready for the Jackets, and I'll give you a shot at going to the Super Bowl.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
So are you that person? The one who's been buying over-the-counter insoles just to make whatever shoes you wear cushy? Yep, that was me. Hey, it's Anthony. And before I went to the Good Feet store, my back would kill me if I was on my feet for any serious amount of time. I was told about the Good Feet store's 3-step arch support system. Once I tried them in my shoes, I instantly felt more supported, and honestly, my feet felt aligned perfectly for the first time in forever. And they're fit to me personally. And it's not just comfort. My Good Feet store arch supports are designed to balance and strengthen my feet. They've made such a difference in my life. The Good Feet store has helped many people relieve their pain, obviously me included. No waiting required. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Bring in your favorite shoes to the Good Feet store, and they'll personally fit you to ensure your comfort. Go ahead. Take a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City, or goodfeet.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The heaviest of the rain is moving out of Ohio, but we have another round expected this afternoon. Albeit I don't expect it to be quite as intense as the morning rain. You can still expect a few showers until about 7 p.m. this evening. High 53. Cloudy and dry on your Friday, high 55. Sunny on Saturday with a high of 57. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, Ice, a little Bet365 time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself. When you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. We got it looks like on paper what could be a banger of a Thursday night football game tonight, AR.
Cooked up a little bit of a parlay here, same game parlay on Bet365. And I've gone half mental hedge and then a little bit nuts, just to have a little something fun. Okay. And you can get boosts all over the place on Thursday Night Football at Bet365. There's so many fun ones to look at, touchdown props and all that. So jump on there and take a look at Bet365. So here's my half of the mental hedge. Mm-hmm. Okay, you ready?
I'm here for it.
Jaden Daniels under 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
Barkley under 112.5 rushing/receiving yards. Under 112.5. Mm-hmm. That's the mental hedge part because I own them both in fantasy. Then a couple touchdowns. One, I'm going to get Robinson Jr. into the end zone.
He's back, right? Officially, he's back?
He is back.
Okay.
And then the one that really puts it over the top, and this is the one where I may make this bet twice and just swap out the last touchdown getter.
Yeah.
I put in Goddard. He scored last week. Okay. It brings that little four-way feast up to 25-1.
Yeah, because you can get that anytime touchdown alone for Dallas Goedert at plus 300.
Now, if I swap him out for AJ, and I wouldn't put Barkley in because I'm not going to do that to myself. And by the way, if they don't get stopped at like the 4-yard line, he's not getting the ball. And before, Maddie and I talked about this before the season. I said, hey, if Barkley's there, I'm going to take him at 9. And I may make my next pick Jalen Hurts again.
Just to cover
to say, hey, I don't want to get tush-push the whole season. And that's exactly what's going on. Barkley's been amazing, but
yeah.
And I probably regret a little bit in that I didn't take Jalen too. But all right, that's the four-way feast I'm going with. I'm probably going to swap out Goddard and throw in maybe A.J. Brown, which will bring it down, but it'll still be good.
I'm feeling a little Buckeye magic in the air tonight. I'm feeling a little Buckeye magic for our guy, Scary Terry McLaurin. Give me an anytime tutty for him at plus 150. So you will be the beneficiary of that.
I'd love to see
your
it.
fantasy team. So I'm looking out for you, and I'm looking out for Buckeye Nation. They can cheer on their guy tonight. Terry McLaurin's getting in the box. Plus 150 is the juice on that. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, so the Jet season is spiraling, circling the drain here. What are they, 3-7?
Yeah, it's probably a wrap.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, though, still wants to run it back in 2025. Now, he may want to. Maybe they want to move on from him. Rodgers was... We have sound on this, CB? All right, set this up for me again. This is actually Rodgers?
Yeah, it's pretty short and to the point on his feelings for next year.
Okay.
You talked about wanting to play beyond this year. Yeah. Has the way this season gone for you or as a team changed that thought at all?
Not really. Not for the negative, no. Not really.
How do you still want to play in 2025?
I think so, yeah.
Was it officially stamped?
I think so.
He's got to go on his darkness retreat. He's got to take some of his goodies in there, whatever what's the name of the drug he likes to use? Starts with an H, I think.
It actually starts with an A. Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. Yeah, he's got to load up on that,
He's 41. He'll turn 41 next month.
I could see. Yeah. Wasn't definitive, that's for sure. But if he knows that the weaponry that's there now will be back, that's very tempting, especially because you don't want to go out on a whimper, this bad of a whimper, right, to end your career. He's got a Hall of Fame career. He'll be in Canton. We all understand that. But if Devontae's there, Garrett Wilson's there, Breece Hall is there, you're not coming into nothing next year. And so I could understand him still having a little bit of that fire in his gut to get this thing done. But it's no doubt a narrative that we're going to be talking about a lot this offseason is if the Jets find themselves in the top 5 of next year's draft, would they be tempted to take a quarterback? And would they, do you want to get off Rodgers right now just based off of how he looks? Because he's just not the same guy. And maybe another offseason of health, recovering from the Achilles and all that will bring him back. But he looks a little cooked. He just does.
That's the only way you can say it. He's battled injuries, ankle, hammy, all that. Mentally, I'm sure this hasn't been a great season. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards in a game in, 32 straight games?
Is that where he's at?
I think it is.
Wow.
I'd have to go back. And I thought I saw that stat being thrown around. I think he looks skittish in the pocket.
Yeah.
He doesn't dance around the way he used to. He used to have really good footwork. But I think he's I say that to say this. I think he's very entitled to see how this season ends. He is going to be 41. Yeah. He has had injuries. For anyone to say that he should be saying today, absolutely, this is not going to be my final season. I think he's got to wait on that. Here's the other thing. The Jets could move on, but you're talking about $50 million in dead money against the cap. So realistically, he's got to get through the end of this year healthy. And I even said to you the other day, when do they say we got to protect him and just bench him and just say the season's over? You need to work on staying healthy. I mean, what more does he have to endure this season?
Yeah, I think that decision is probably up to him, I would guess, right? If he wants to sit down or not. I think I'd be surprised if he just doesn't want to play the rest of the way if he's healthy. But also is going to be a factor in this as well is who their next head coach will be, right? Because pairing him up, or is he going to be on board with whoever the guy is? And is it going to be a Ben Johnson? Is it going to be a Vrabel? I'd be surprised, very surprised if it's Bill Belichick, but they're going to be resetting at the most important position off the field, and that's head coach as well. And so that, or he may be off the Nathaniel Hackett thing as well, but he's had so much say since he got there as far as personnel and the coaching staff and all of that. What part of that, the part of the puzzle, what does that have as far as an impact on Aaron Rodgers and him wanting to come back as who their next head coach is going to be a big deal.
Yeah. All right, those are your pre-snap reads for today. So we've had a lot of Hall of Famers on, and we've had some Steelers on before. And we've never Mel Blount was one of the great Steeler players of all time at that corner position, and he went into the Hall of Fame. And I remember him saying that he believed that the guy we're going to talk to, Rod Woodson, is the greatest athlete that Chuck Noll ever drafted. And that is saying a lot when you think of all the Hall of Famers about how special the Steelers have been over the years, including the guy we're going to talk to next, Rod Woodson, on a Gold Jacket Thursday. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's better than giving a gift everyone wants? Getting free gas and groceries by earning perks on gift cards purchased at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go. Choose from hundreds of gift cards to make everyone merry this holiday season, from the biggest retailers and best brands, all while earning you free gas and groceries. Stop in our stores for bonus perk offers on gift cards. Give the gift everyone wants, and get a little something for yourself, too. The holidays are magical at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at byersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Saints.
Live coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick It One.
Your Central Ohio home for Browns football, The Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. We're back on Nada Yada Island Confessions. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada, only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Billiards Plus has the area's best selection of pool tables, shuffleboard tables, poker tables, and more. Santa will be here soon, and there's still inventory in stock, so get yours before Billiards Plus runs out. Don't forget your grill, too. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Gambling too much? Or just can't seem to cut your losses? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, pub and gambling counselor at Maryhaven. Whether it's you or someone you love, we're here to help you control gambling before it controls you. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven is here for you no matter what. And that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Confidential and judgment-free, go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Gold Jacket Thursday.
All right, welcome back into Rothman and Ice. It is a Gold Jacket Thursday. I couldn't wait to do this preview. There's nothing this man couldn't do while at Purdue. He took that all-everything attitude into the pros. He was a first-rounder in 87 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He could hit like a truck. He had the coverage skills to match. He finished his career, listen to this, with 71 interceptions, third most all-time in NFL history. And oh, by the way, he took a dozen of those back for touchdowns. A member of the 90s all-decade team, selected to the Pro Bowl 11 times, which I believe is a record for a defensive back. And in 94, he was one of only 5 active players to be named to the NFL's 75th anniversary team. The others were Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Reggie White, and Ronnie Lott. He is Rod Woodson. He's back in football heaven in Canton, class of 09, enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Welcome, Rod.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Listen, I want to take you all the way back to college because at Purdue, you beat a top 10 Notre Dame team, I believe. You beat number 2 Ohio State in 84, and I think you had the game-winning pick 6 against Tom Zach. So I have 2 questions. Was that the highlight of your collegiate career? And did Earl Bruce ever recruit you out of the old Fort Wayne, or as I like to call it, Fort Fun, Indiana?
You know what? I was recruited by Ohio State. I can't say that was my funnest game or the highlight of my college career. My highlight of my college career was my last game of my senior year against IU, where I got to play both ways. Had about 85 yards rushing, like 50-something yards receiving. I think I had like 8 tackles, 9 tackles, recovered a punt or field goal block, and we beat IU for 4 years straight. But I was recruited, or not I guess I was recruited by Ohio State. And the only reason I didn't go there is because I was going to go for an official visit. And when you're coming out of high school, at least for me, I got overwhelmed with all the colleges coming up to the high school and calling and wanting me to talk to them. And I'm like, I told my head coach, Coach Holly at Snyder's, like, just tell all the colleges to give me a week so I can clear my head. And the next day, I can't remember who the recruiting host or recruiting coordinator in that region was for Ohio State. But that guy came back to the school the next day, and I said, I'm not going to visit Ohio State if you can't listen to one thing I ask you to do just to help me. So I never even went to visit. I probably shouldn't have got too emotionally attached to that because they were always a pretty good football team, which are still pretty good, right? So, for me, Purdue was a great place. I got to run track all 4 years indoors. You know, I got to get a great education, and my mom and dad got to come to all my games. I sometimes think about not going to Ohio State at least to visit, but my life turned out pretty okay.
No doubt.
There's no denying that, Rod. Absolutely. You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers brand is one of the most respected brands in all of football, and the history there is just so rich, and you help that. There's no doubt about it with your play on the field. I want to ask you, though, about your time with Bill Cowher, right? I mean, going from Chuck Noll to Bill Cowher to Mike Tomlin, just 3 head coaches for such a long time here. Talk about Bill and the impact that he made on the defense, on the team when he arrived in Pittsburgh.
Well, I think the biggest impact he made on the team was his toughness, his grittiness. I remember one game, I can't remember exactly who we were playing, but we had 1st and goal on a 3-yard line. We ran the ball 4 straight times. We could not get a touchdown, we lost the game. And he came back in after the game and said, if we can't get the yards that we need on the goal line to win a game, then we're not going to win a game. And we can't be the Steelers that we want to be. So it gave us the mindset that, hey, we are going to be tough. That's the mindset he wanted us to have. So defensively, we had Dom Capers and Dick LeBeau. They allowed every single player on that defense to be themselves inside of their system. And I think that's what made us so good.
We are visiting with Rod Woodson. He's back in Canton for the residency program. You'll be able to meet and greet Rod Friday and Saturday. He'll be at the hall. I'll give you details in moments. Take us back to 95. You tear your ACL, I believe, on that damn AstroTurf. I think it was AstroTurf. And you're trying to get a hold of Barry Sanders. How do you convince Bill Cowher at that time to not put you on IR, which back then I guess you were probably done for the year, not just 4 games. You make it all the way back, and your first game back is Super Bowl 30 defending Michael Irvin and the Cowboys. How big of a moment was that for you, and how did you convince Cowher to say, I'm not done?
To go back to the opening game, playing against Barry Sanders, there was the first time I wore brand new shoes, and I didn't wear them during the week. So I had these brand new shoes, didn't really break them in. It was a hot, dry day. And anytime you play on AstroTurf, a hot, dry day, you don't have your shoes broken in. I planted with my right foot. I can feel my whole knee kind of twisting, and I felt a pop. And go to the sideline. I blew my ACL out. We come back out on Monday, talking to the doctor with Bill Cowher being there. Doctor said it's going to be anywhere between 3 to 4 months or 4 to 6 months recovery. And I'm like sitting there and I'm looking at Bill and I'm like, 4 months. Let's see, September, October, November, December. Oh, shoot, I can get back. And he was like, what? I was like, I can get back, Coach. And luckily for us, we had Carnell Lake, who moved to corner, which is an outstanding player that can play any position back there. And Carnell moved to corner. Nobody else got hurt in the secondary. And we played with 52 guys on our roster, our active roster, for the whole year, which a lot of people do not know that. I don't think Chuck Noll would have did that for me. Bill Cowher listened, respected me enough, gave me that opportunity. We were good enough to win and get to the Super Bowl, and I got to play. They activated me. I got to play in my first Super Bowl. I didn't start. I played about 20 plays because I came in at our nickel spot. Played against Michael, and Michael, you know how Michael is. Michael talks a whole bunch, and he was talking a whole bunch leading up to the Super Bowl, getting that breakup in the game. It was fun to play in my first Super Bowl. It was fun to kind of prove critics wrong, saying that players can't come back in that capacity. I would think that's one of the reasons that the going to IR today, that gives you that window of having an opportunity to come back in the same year, where if they would have put me on IR when I went in, when I was playing, then I would have been done for the year. So you're right about that. If it wasn't Bill Cowher as the head coach, and it was any other head coach, I probably would not have played in that Super Bowl in '95.
Rob, last one for me. I just have to ask you about being a part of the 2000 Ravens, right? Going on to win the Super Bowl. That defense is recognized to this day as one of the best defenses ever, if not the best defense ever. Take us inside that unit and what made it go and what made it special.
We had leaders across the board. 2 years prior, I get there to Baltimore. Ray Lewis is going into his third year. Ray Lewis just kept growing as a football player, but as a leader. And we had leaders from the front line, from Tony Saragusa to Sam Adams, to the linebackers, obviously Ray Lewis, to the secondary, myself. But Ray was a catalyst that he kept growing as a leader. Marvin Lewis kept growing as a defensive play caller. I think arguably the best defense in one given year in the history of the National Football League. We shattered the scoring record points given up by the Chicago Bears, the '85 team. And all we needed our offense to do is score about 10 points. And if they can do that, we'll win the football game.
Perhaps the greatest defensive back ever, Rod Woodson, with us on a Gold Jacket Thursday. Before I let you go, one of the things you accomplished in your athletic career, and I don't know the story, and maybe it's somewhat of an untold story, is that you did qualify for the Summer Olympics, correct? LA '84 in the 100-meter hurdles?
I did qualify, but that was the era where if you became a professional in any sport, you couldn't become an amateur in track and field. Mm-hmm. So I had to make a decision, was I going to sign my contract? Because I held out in '87. I held out for quite a long time. I didn't sign my NFL contract with the Steelers until late October. And since I signed that contract, as soon as I signed it, I couldn't become an amateur in track and field in '88 to go to the Olympic trials. And that was about my only thing in my lifetime that I still like to, in my head, I have an idea, like, could I have made it the Olympic team? Was I fast up to, I had the fourth fastest time in the world in the previous year in '87 when I was running overseas. But I never got an opportunity to run in the trials just for the fact that I became a professional in football.
I'm glad you told me that story. I've always wondered about it, and that is amazing. You can meet and greet with Rod Woodson tomorrow at the Hall. As I like to say, you can't miss him. He'll be the one in the gold jacket. 11 to 11:45 at the Hall of Fame store, which is amazing. This weekend, Saturday, he'll be the greeter in the lobby from 9:15 to 9:45, and then obviously back in the store till around 11 o'clock. He'll be in the Gold Jacket Lounge till 11:30. Steeler fans, NFL fans here in Columbus, it's a great weekend to get up to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Buckeyes are on the road, so you don't have to worry about that. Rod, this has been an absolute pleasure, man. Big fan of your career and you as a guy, and I hope you stay well and enjoy your weekend.
I definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it. Rod Woodson, legendary Steeler, Raven, Niner, and Raider with us on a Gold Jacket Thursday. When we come back, tell the truth. To wrap it up, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter doesn't have a mullet, but he's knee-deep in mullet energy. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
I'm Rick Reichard. Get Black Friday pricing now at Reichard Ford, because we're dealing. Everyone knows that Black Friday is a wild time to buy a car. Reichard Ford learned from last year, so we've already dropped our prices. Fresh incentives from Ford have just been announced, so guess what? You want the best Black Friday selection? You want super sale Black Friday pricing? You want to skip the Black Friday insanity? Well, you get all that this week at #1 Reichard Ford. New 2024 F-150s available with 1.9% APR financing. Or get up to $8,000 off of MSRP. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Broncos. 100 to choose from. Beat the crowd, save more money, shop the best selection at Reichard Ford's pre-Black Friday sale. The largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio. At Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichardFord.com. Based on 2023 Ford report for total new retail sales. Cincinnati region. Offers end 12/2 on approved credit. Come in now, because we're dealing.
Hey, it's Bobby Carver, and I love this time of the year, the food, the family, the football, and I want to spend it with my loved ones. I don't want to spend all day in the kitchen. So Bob Evans, they got a solution for you. It's the Thanksgiving celebration, their farmhouse feast. They've got unbelievable options. Me, I love the slow roasted turkey for 6 hours, but you could go with ham as well. They've got unbelievable handcrafted sides. My kids love the homemade celery and dressing. The mashed potatoes with gravy, they're always a winner. They've got tons of them that serves 8 to 10 people, folks. So go check it out at bobevans.com.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Giant Eagle is making it easy to surround yourself with savings on hundreds of items every time you shop. With new low prices, deals for days, weekly sales, and My Perks at your neighborhood Giant Eagle. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. We're back on Nada Yada Island Confessions. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada, only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or pay with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Combat falling interest rates now. Lock in a 7-month certificate from Kemba Financial Credit Union and earn up to 4.5% annual percentage yield. Visit Kemba.org for details. Hurry! This exceptional rate offer expires December 31st, 2024. APY equals annual percentage yield. Restrictions apply. $500 minimum deposit required to open and earn stated APY and $250,000 maximum deposit. Advantage status required. Federally insured by NCUA.
Reichert Chevy's dealing in Dublin.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Shop hundreds of vehicles at ReichertChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. We're dealing.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Reichert Chevy.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, CB, take us home.
All right, yesterday we discussed teams in the top 12 of the college football playoff rankings that shouldn't feel comfortable about their spot just yet. Let's look at some of the teams that are outside that top 12 and maybe not super close. Like, I don't want a Georgia answer here because they just are on the outside because of Boise State. But a team maybe out of view of that top 12 that could make their way in.
Colorado. It's Colorado for me.
They're 17 right now.
I'm going Colorado on this one. They got to be careful, though. Utah this week, they should be able to outscore them. But the following week, Kansas, with the combination of Jalen Daniels and Devin Neal, that quarterback and running back combination is lethal. So I'm going to go with Colorado because right now, to me, where they're sitting in the 17 hole, they still got a chance to win the Big 12. So give me the Buffaloes.
It's a good call because really it comes down to winning out and you're in. So they do control that. I like that part of the equation. Just not to take the same team. I'm either going to go... The real long shot to me would be... What about LSU? Where are they?
Tigers.
No, they got 3 losses. They're out, according to Maddie.
It's not just.
I was going to say Clemson.
Like the only people that I've heard back at 3-loss teams are you and your girl Heather. That's really it.
We're on an island.
But
Put
you
us
guys
on an
might
island
be
together.
right. You guys might be right.
I'll tell you what. Why don't I go A&M?
Okay.
And here's how they do it. They beat New Mexico State. They win at Auburn. Both very doable. And here's the big one. And I think you may even co-sign this as a dramatic, thrilling game. Beat Texas. Beat Texas.
Yeah.
And now you're in the SEC title game. And now, if they lose any one of those, they're out. And that's why this is a great exercise that CB put us through here. I like Colorado because they're the control your own destiny team. And then I'm looking at LSU because I'm just going to have fun with this. At Florida, Vandy, and Oklahoma. So if they could win the last 3 SEC games, or win the last 3, yeah. Where's Clemson in this?
That's exactly what I was
Where's
gonna ask
Clemson
you.
in this? I love this. By the way, we should have done this for about a half an hour.
I don't believe they control their own destiny because I think it's SMU and Miami currently.
Yeah.
The whole tiebreakers thing can make your brain blow up.
So Clemson has Pitt, Citadel, and South Carolina. So obviously you got to beat Pitt. You lose that, you're done.
South Carolina.
So let's say you get that win, okay, if you're Clemson. Then you need Miami to drop that game to Syracuse at the end of the year, which they've got a fighting chance there, Syracuse. And then all of a sudden, thanks to that loss to Louisville, Clemson, they lose the tiebreaker, though, to SMU and Miami. So here's what they need. They got to get 2 losses out of SMU, and they got to hope Miami loses to Syracuse, and they beat Pitt. There's your long shot. There's your chaos pick. Clemson sitting at 20.
It's not Missouri, who Eli Drinkowitz said after the game against Oklahoma that it kept them in the playoff hunt?
Well, they have South Carolina this weekend on the road.
I think it's more of a quick mini tell the truth. Was he telling the truth when it kept them in the playoff hunt?
Yeah, they only have 2 losses. So they win out, and they hope Tennessee loses to Georgia, which a lot of people think they will, and Vandy. Then all of a sudden the tiebreaker madness starts to kick in.
Yeah,
and
I feel like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover, all the numbers and all that stuff
but
just floating around my
face. He won
face.
$82,000.
No, what I'm saying, that's where I feel like right now. With you guys throwing out all these scenarios and tiebreakers.
Let me paint you a scenario. Missouri wins at South Carolina this week. Start the numbers a swirling.
It doesn't sound good for Brady Cook, though, and his availability in that one. So they may not have their quarterback. But yeah, you're right. Could be honest.
That was kind of fun, actually.
Oh, that's your definition of fun?
Yeah, picking long shots with no consequence.
A little too much math for me.
Just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
All right. I don't know if I fully believe this report yet, but just the number figure associated with Bryce Underwood and the offer for NIL from Michigan right now is insane. Sounds like right now it's a little over $10 million offer in NIL to sway Underwood from LSU over to Michigan. The question is, though, do you think this is the truth?
To a high school kid.
We started off originally, this was at 5, correct, CB? This number was at 5. So what he did is essentially went back to the table and pulled a fat Joe. Yesterday's price is not today's price. If you want me, double it up, baby. I'm not buying it, though.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yep.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's what he told him. So I'm not buying $10 million, but I'll buy maybe that this thing's about 6 or 7 now. But $10 million, I'm not buying that.
No, I guess the only way I would buy it is I don't know whose money it is. So somebody might
Connor
be
Stallion's money.
Somebody might be pledging this money with no real way to back it up completely. So it's just kind of become this fun little folklore story that they're willing to offer $10.5 million to an in-state high school kid to flip or whatever he's going to do.
Yeah.
It's insane. And it makes me actually a little nauseous.
And that, my boy, is a damn truth.
All right, I want to change one of the options in the next question because I think there's some fatigue around the Wrigley Field discussion. So I will change it a little bit because I know Lambeau Field for the Packers was also discussed at one point for an option for Northwestern during this period where Ryan Field is being redeveloped. So the question is, where would you rather see the Ohio State-Northwestern game take place? Is it Soldier Field right there in Chicago or Lambeau Field?
Lambeau. Interesting.
I would not want to see Ohio State Northwestern at Lambeau. It has no connection. It just it's got to have a connection.
I guess the way to phrase it is, which stadium would you like to go see this game played in?
I've never been to Lambeau. So to Maddie's theory, I don't want my first game there to be anything other than Packers-Vikes.
Right. It's got to be that.
Yeah.
It's got to be that. Yeah, I'll stick with Soldier Field. We'll just rock out in Chi-Town.
You can jam 20,000 more in there.
Well,
that I know. At Soldier than you could at Wrigley.
Yeah,
I kind of like this Wrigley thing. I know, like I said, you're not going to see second base in a dirt infield.
I do like that.
It's actually going to be fine. It's
Big Daddy Paul Kill showed us a picture after the show. It looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. So, yeah, maybe it'll grow on me a little bit, but I'll go Soldier Field.
The truth shall set you free.
It was a Gold Jacket Thursday. If you missed that with Rod Woodson, if you missed NFL picks, if you missed anything we ever do on our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Nice. Everything we do, we'll be waiting for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. If you're feeling nice, if you're in the holiday spirit, hit us with 5 stars. Coming up on Common Man and T-Bone, Timmy Hall is in for T-Bone. Adam Rittenberg joins at 3:34, and apparently there is a mushroom problem over at Ohio State. Is this the penguin growing bliss over there? Is that maybe
Shrooms.
the penguin's growing some bliss over there? But stick with us. Don't
By the
go
way,
anywhere.
here's the other thing real quickly on Wrigley, and we'll talk about more of this tomorrow. But the famous dudes that have played football in Wrigley, that's why I want it there. Gale Sayers, Dick Butkus, all those guys that played when the Bears were still playing at Wrigley, I think is pretty cool. All right, we come back on a Football Friday. CB safe travels to Chi-Town on the north side, and we'll talk to you tomorrow at high noon. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
Download the Prime Sports app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use the promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Updated Super Bowl odds have the Chiefs as the favorite at 4-1, with the Lions right behind them at plus 450. Ravens are 6-1, Bills 8-1, 49ers 9-1, Eagles are 10-1, and the Steelers are 22-1 to win the Super Bowl. For your Prime Sports Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Is it time for a new or used car? Visit Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161, home of the Tansky Promise, where our salespeople aren't paid on commission. We have a 72-hour exchange policy, and every transaction is upfront and transparent. You can even start the process at home. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to start your purchase today and to see all of this month's specials. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Celebrate football season with the one and only Schmitz. A Columbus tradition like no other, Schmitz has been serving up delicious Bahama Mamas, sausages, cream puffs, and more for well over a century. Stop into the historic German Village restaurant for lunch or dinner. And after your meal, bring home the most delicious tailgate spread for the big weekend. Schmitz Sausage Haus in historic German Village or online at schmidthaus.com. Why tailgate when you can Schmidtgate?
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at buyersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better...
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in